kick things off. Hello there, I'm Lorraine Pearson. I'm one of your hosts today with Special Areas Regional Economic Development. We want to welcome you to AI to the Rescue, but before we do that, let's hear a little bit about who Special Areas Regional Economic Development is
Thanks,
from
Lori.
Wanda.
Thank
Yeah.
you. So I'm an economic development officer with Special Areas Board and Special Areas Regional Economic Development, along with our partner Harvest Sky Economic Development. We support businesses, entrepreneurs, and communities across the region. A major focus of our work is workforce attraction and retention, helping employers find, keep, and support the people that they need to succeed. So the Business Bytes Lunch and Learn series is a project delivered through the Small Communities Opportunity Program. It's designed to provide rural businesses with practical, easy-to-use tools, particularly in areas like marketing, technology, and workforce development. So to learn more about our programs and supports, please visit specialareaseconomicdevelopment.ca. And if rural living, lifestyle, and opportunity are of interest to you or someone you know, check out returntorural.ca. I just had to plug them. And also, I'd like to highlight an upcoming event that we have, the Return to Rural Online Summer Job Fair, taking place next week. We're using a platform called Remo, and it's the coolest one. And it's January 29th from 12 till 2. And we'll put the link in the notes in the chat as well. So anyways, thank you for joining us today, and let's get started.
Amazing. Thanks, Wanda. And we want to welcome in our amazing speaker today, Michelle McFadden. Hey, Michelle.
Hi,
Michelle.
everybody. Great to be here.
Yes, we're excited for our rock star, Michelle. I've known Michelle probably for 13 years now. And yeah, everything that Michelle delivers is gold and well researched and with a lot of passion behind it. So, Michelle McFadden is a trusted business strategist and facilitator with over 20 years of experience helping entrepreneurs and organizations build smarter, more profitable operations. So, she's currently the business advisor for Central Alberta's Regional Business Support Network and the founder of WOW International Women in Business, equipping leaders with tools and confidence to thrive in a changing economy. And today we are learning from AI, from Michelle about AI, and they're known for warmth, humor, and practicality. These are all the things I know to be true about Michelle and helping us turn complex technology into clear solutions that save time and growth. So today we are going to learn about saving 5 to 10 hours weekly, how to write powerful prompts. We actually have a sheet Michelle's provided us with on powerful prompts. We'll be sharing that here in the chat and via email for anyone watching the recording, and how to transform your workflow, plus a 10-minute Q&A at the end, so get your questions ready. And Michelle, will hand it over to you.
Awesome. Thanks, Lorraine. Thank you, Wanda, so much for having me today. I was telling the lovely ladies before I let you in to this presentation, I am what would be considered more AI addict than AI enthusiast at this point. I know that probably 3 years ago, 3.5 years ago, I got a phone call from a friend saying, there's this new business toy that I've been playing with. I want you to play with it. And it was the very original version of ChatGPT. And I tell you, right then, my mind was blown, and I started using it on a regular basis. And honestly, there is not a day that goes by that I don't touch AI. And it doesn't touch what I do to save me time. And that when you're saving time in your business, you're also saving money. So today we're going to go through saving you a minimum of 5 to 10 hours with some of the top AI platforms out there. We'll go through ChatGPT, Copilot, and Gemini, because each has pros and cons when you're looking to develop different business processes. So again, Lorraine presented me, but I am a business development advisor and speaker and trainer, certified management consultant with CMC Canada. So that allows me the designation to be a business consultant in 45 countries around the world. With that said, let's talk about AI. Believe it or not, and I know this is a mind-blowing portion of the presentation, AI is not actually new. AI developed in the 1950s, if you can believe it, where the early computing pioneers said, what if machines could think? That was the very first statement to bring out AI. And then we had what I call the AI dark ages, which was the 1980s, where it got put to the side as the internet sprang forward and social media sprang forward. But then slowly it came back again with systems that you might not recognize as AI, like Amazon buying recommendations. If you say, oh, wow, other people bought this when they bought that. And then those recommendations turned into an Alexa that can play music and ask questions, or developed into a Siri or a Bixby on your phone. Slowly, AI came to fruition, and then in the 2010s, what really made a big difference was the discoveries by OpenAI that was called generative AI or deep learning. So all of a sudden, AI could do things that Google could do: deep research, deep learning, deep fact finding. And now we have in 2022 to 2026 the most fastest race to the market that I have ever seen for the development of platforms. If you ever remember, I'm old enough to remember the beginnings of the internet, where all of a sudden these different browser platforms raced to the market. Google, Yahoo, Bing, AOL, if those of you in the room can remember that. So it was a big race to the market of who could be the browser. We have even a faster race to the market on who can be the AI platform. And we are seeing them come in floods. And we're seeing them actually what I call playing Pac-Man with each other, because one new amazing image generation platform like something called Nano Banana is doing so well with generating images that Google bought it up and incorporated it into their Gemini model. So you're seeing these smaller platforms that do something really, really well being Pac-Maned into larger platforms. So that'll be really interesting to watch as we move forward. So why AI feels so big right now? First of all, it's now conversational. And as Lorraine and I were talking, AI may not actually mean artificial inseminated in the agricultural business world. But AI has become conversational where you don't need any technical training to actually use it. You can talk to it like it's a human. It's accessible because most of the platforms have a free model. And then it's become capable to do the tasks that take up so much time, like writing and summarizing and planning and organizing. So this is the first time, 2025, 2026, where AI is truly fitting into real lives. And I was explaining to the ladies before our presentation started today, in real lives, meaning that I actually this weekend took a picture of my dog's foot. He hurt his paw running around the acreage. I didn't know how to treat it, and the vet wasn't open. So I took a picture of the paw, loaded it up into ChatGPT, told it to be like a vet. And how do I treat this? How do I first aid this dog's paw so he can go to the vet tomorrow? And I did everything AI said. Some of the recommendations my husband made, AI said, oh no, that's not going to be good. So that was even more beneficial. And told me the right way to really integrate healthcare for my dog into real life. I took him to the vet the next day, showed the vet what AI had told me, and the vet said, yeah, that's bang on for first aid. So again, it can be integrated in multifacets of your life, not just business. So what am I going to teach you today? First of all, we're going to identify some time drains in your business, the 4 productivity killers that you're implementing every week. We'll learn some fundamentals. We're going to meet what I call the big 3, ChatGPT, Copilot, and Gemini, and how and when to use each one. And we'll see some real rescue examples. Like I said, this presentation is called AI to the Rescue. So we'll walk through practical scenarios that will save hours. We'll explore some really simple workflows And then I'll give you some homework that you can practice hands-on. And hopefully you'll give feedback to Lorraine and then Lorraine through me on how did those exercises work for you? And hopefully some time for Q&A. So how do we save 5 to 10 hours a week? Honestly, 5 to 10 hours a week means you either get Friday afternoon or all day Friday off. All of a sudden, rather than working 40 hours a week, we can work 30 hours a week and still accomplish the same amount of productivity. That's where AI can help. So it can help us draft emails and manage correspondence. It can help with organizing schedules. It can develop amazing content. It can help with streamlining messages, creating documents and proposals, and setting up your task management so it's really, really easy to make sure that your customer service is always on point. So again, why AI and why now in 2026? First of all, believe it or not, it's easy. And you know what's really funny is that I'm in an office where if I'm not moving, my lights turn off. So I just need to wave a little bit for my lights to what really you need to have happen in every presentation. Sadly, AI cannot turn my lights back on. So hold tight for 1 second. Here we go. I had to move. So AI is easy. You don't even have to type these days. You can dictate to save time. And when you're looking at saving time, we're not looking at saving hours all at once. What we're doing is we're saving minutes and saving more minutes and saving more minutes. And I can tell you, I never type into AI anymore. I dictate because I can actually talk faster than I type, with all the backspacing and the errors and all. I spelt that wrong. I have to go back and change it. I can actually just verbalize and download what I want, and it will do the dictation and transcription to a 99% accuracy. All my meetings, I never take a notebook. I'm always using an AI model to take notes that are accurate. It's accessible. Most of these models are free. So I want to do a little cautionary tale here about using a free model versus a paid model. So when you are using a free model, first of all, do not put any personal or sensitive information into a free model, number one. Because what you are doing with a free model is you're training, if you think of AI as a company employee, you're training the company employee with your information, and everybody has access to that information. So that employee will tell everybody. So that's what happens when you have a free model, is that you're putting information into the model that then the entire world who is also using that free model can access. You're constantly training that model, not for necessarily your own use, but everybody else's use. So I do recommend, if you are going to use AI for business, you at least start paying the lowest amount. I know ChatGPT, Gemini, also Copilot, they have paid levels. They're about $20 or to $30 a month. I know that because of my high level of usage, I've actually upgraded my models to a business workspace model where you have more safeguards, more privacy guarantees, and it becomes your model, not the world's model. So be really careful what you're putting into the free models. You know, it was explained to me very similar. If you're using the free one, you're putting the information out into the world. If you want to keep that information to yourself, it's pay to play. It's that simple. The capability, however, of the paid models is also increased. You get the ability to upload information, so it can analyze different documents, or it will even believe it or not, you go home tonight, take a picture of the inside of your fridge, and then upload that photograph into some form of AI model and ask it to find a recipe with the contents of your fridge, and it will do it. Phenomenal. No longer standing at the fridge and saying, "Huh, what am I going to make for dinner tonight?" So let's look at chapter number 1, the 4 big time drains. Let's identify where your time in your business is draining, and let's see how AI can give it back to you. So the first one is administrative tasks. So administrative work, data entry, scheduling. Really, the AI solution is that AI will do the heavy lifting for you. So a great, and we'll do this later on in our demos, but what I love doing is, all those emails that come in overnight, you walk into the office, you open up your email, and there's 10 emails there, and you're not too sure what's priority and what's not. And then you have to spend the next 45 minutes answering and reading and processing each one. A really simple solution is to go into your emails, presuming you're using a paid model for privacy reasons. You cut and paste the email into your AI model, whether it be Gemini, Copilot, or ChatGPT, and you ask it to summarize the key points in that. If it's a very long email, summarize 3 key points I need to know from this email. And based on the information that's in this email and my key action items for after, write a response. And I want to say this, and I want it to have a friendly tone, and I want it to be professional. And literally, what would have taken you 20 minutes to type out a response is done for you in a minute, saving you 19 minutes of the 5 to 10 hours you could save a week. And if you times that by 5, you've saved yourself an hour. So thinking about documenting meeting notes, one of my favorite AI models, and it's not in this presentation, but I cannot wait to share it with you. They actually don't pay me, but they should for the amount of time I promote their product. It's called Otter AI, OTTER.ai, and it is a transcription service. So what I do is with my client's permission, when I'm having a meeting, I will say, is it okay, instead of me taking notes, that I record it with this note taker on my phone? And if you want, I can share the transcript with you, but I can guarantee it doesn't go anywhere to me. So it's a 99.9% accuracy. Then what I do is I use that transcript, and the transcript has an AI model where it gives me a summary of the meeting. So when I used to meet with some of my business coaching clients, I would spend 2 hours after a meeting typing up all their notes and their action items and their to-do lists and to get to them. Well, now, thanks to AI, I can copy and paste the transcript either into ChatGPT if I want a more detailed note opportunity, or action item tool, or planning tool, or I can just use the summary within Otter to send them meeting notes. And by the time they've left my office and hit the parking lot, they have their notes in their inbox. So that's 2 hours for every client I get to see, which gives me more productivity time to see more clients, because I don't have to spend 2 hours every time. And rather than seeing 2-3 clients a day and then doing notes for 6 hours, seriously, if I spend 15 minutes doing notes for 4 or 5 clients in a day, that's a big deal for me now. So you want to definitely get your hands on that type of note taking. Any type of document organization. How many people actually get sent long documents to read or summarize, right? Wanda shaking her head. Yeah. What you can do, if that document's in electronic form, or even if you photocopy it into a PDF document, you can attach it into your AI software and ask it to analyze it and give you a summary. And I have seen pharmacists and doctors, they do have all of these, information on different medications that they have to consume and know. And, the data's this thick. But what if you could just summarize that to say, knowing what my role is in the organization, knowing what I need to know, just give me a summary of what I need to know. And then you're not pouring through irrelevant information that doesn't even apply to you. So drain number 2, content creation. We have this love-hate relationship with social media as business owners, don't we? Where you're looking at, the blinking cross on Instagram or Facebook, and it is saying, feed me some information. And you're sitting there for hours going, I have no idea what to say today. I'm totally not feeling creative. But what if you could actually have a 90-day plan to follow? So your content creation, when you're training your AI model, then your content creation can be done for you. We all know if you have a website, to increase your search engine optimization to be found easier on Google, chances are you're going to need a blog on your website with what's called keywords. None of us are journalists. We're business owners. We're great coffee makers. We're great shoemakers. We're great counselors. We're great coaches. We're great retailers. We may not have taken journalism as a career to write a blog post with keywords. However, AI will do it for you. And you say, these are the keywords that I need. Or better yet, ask AI to do the research on what keywords you need for your particular business and recreate it as a blog based on your information. Emails and newsletters. If you're doing e-newsletter marketing, then it will write content for you. And it's great for product descriptions. You can literally put a picture of your wedding cake that you just made for a client, or a cupcake if you're, I don't know why I'm talking cakes, it must be lunchtime, and or different products that you sell. You can take a picture of it, attach it into an AI model and say, I want to sell this, write me a product description. So it takes the content creation time and the data creation time away, but it doesn't take away your opportunity to be creative. And I'll go into that a little bit more, because AI creates the first version. Now it's up to you to put your humanness into it. So really it's mind and machine coming together as a team member. All of a sudden, everyone once upon a time said, oh, if I could only clone myself. Well, guess what? You can't. So time drain number 3, customer communication. Oh my gosh, have we ever had that email from a customer that might not be so friendly and you're gritting your teeth because you want to send a not so friendly email back? And you have to write it in a polite, professional way, but it's a morning where you haven't had your coffee yet and you're sitting there just fuming. So all you do is copy and paste the email. You can vent and fume into AI. AI has no emotion. It doesn't care. It's patient. It will let you vent. And then you say, you know what? I really can't say any of that, but I need to say something like that in a professional manner. Write me the response. And voila, there it is. Yeah, I've even had AI write those types of emails. And then honestly, for shits and giggles, I said, now write me the email the way I really wanted to say it. And then it writes me something really funny. I don't send it, but it makes for, it cools the jets a little bit after you've done. So you might also say, hey, AI, these are the common questions that we get for our customers. Can you write me a frequently asked questions page for our website? So we are actually developing answers to those questions. I do know more complex AI models are being used in larger companies like Ford, for example. Ford has their own created AI model that's called an agent. And this is far beyond the scope of this presentation. But their agent is actually called Suzanne. And Suzanne is the customer service rep you talk to When you're calling in to book an appointment, book an oil change, talk about parts, you're talking to Suzanne. And Suzanne is so real in its AI model that people will actually now call in to talk to Suzanne. I'd like to talk to Suzanne, please. So it's gone beyond above the static automated voice of please press 1. It is the opportunity to get that customer service model for frequently asked questions a little bit more automated. So your real customer service could be reaching out to clients, talking to real people. So your FAQs are always done, but then you have the opportunity to develop relationships with your customers because why? You have more time. So time frame number 4, planning and strategy. If you want a brainstorming buddy, and I can tell you from experience, I have reached out to Lorraine and said, I need to brainstorm with you because I am the only person in the room right now. So when you brainstorm and you're the only person in the room, everything's a good idea. Except when you have AI and you can actually get all your uncluttered, thoughts and ideas, and you can actually say, hey, ChatGPT, I need you to be my brainstorming buddy. And this is what I'm thinking for my new product launch. And this is what it's going to be. And this is the marketing. And this is how it's going to help people. And I want you to, I don't know how to market it. And I'm not too sure about distribution, but this is what I want to do. And you're putting all your great brain ideas into it and saying, okay, given everything I've told you about my new strategy, my new product, my new marketing, my new product launch or course launch, can you give me a structured roadmap on how to put this into place? What kind of marketing messages would attract the people that I want to attract to this program? It will give you, believe it or not, a clear, actionable roadmap. And you can say, okay, I want to launch this in June of 2026. So we have approximately 6 months. I need a strategic launch pad with key action items and deliverables and initiatives laid out on a calendar. Help me do the step-by-step plan. It will do it for you. And honestly, when you're talking to AI, you really want to talk to it as if it were an employee on day 2 of employment with you. And why I say day 2 is if anyone's ever worked with employees, on the first day, if they can find the bathroom and the coffee maker, hell, that's a win for day 1. But day 2 is where you actually start downloading information to them. This is who we are as a company. This is our employee handbook. This is our mission, vision, and values. This is how we do things. You want, when you're working with your initial model, whether it be ChatGPT, Gemini, or Microsoft Copilot, you want to train your new employee. And then once you have trained it, you can say, okay, based on everything we do here and all our products and services list, I want you to do the social media posting for the next 90 days and give me the hashtags. I want quotes for reels. I want a script for my reel. I want a suggested location for my reel. And it will actually do it for you. So you just follow along. So the more information you give it, the more context you give it, the better off you are. So again, chapter 2, let's demystify some AI stuff. So we want to talk about what AI is, and I've just touched on what is called prompting, and then looking at the small business advantage. Well, we've talked about how we can save time already, and then myths versus reality. We're going to touch on this in chapter 2. So what actually AI is? It's a tool. Plain and simple. What's scary, and I can totally acknowledge what's scary about AI is, first of all, it's very new. We don't know what it can do. We've heard things that it can do nasty things. And we've heard that it can do great things. But what I can tell you is that it is no different than a hammer, a simple hammer. It's a tool. It's basically the calculator of 2026. It is a tool. So let's start with the hammer example. The hammer is a tool that reflects the intentions of the human that has the hammer in their hand. So a hammer can build a house with good intentions. It can build a community, and it can bring so much love into the community that that community becomes as well known as the special areas region of Alberta. That's done with a tool, a hammer. However, sadly, and we've all seen those kind of movies, a hammer could be used to take somebody's life. So the hammer is the reflection of the person that is using it on what it can and cannot do. AI is exactly the same. When the internet first came out, it was all of the best and all of the worst and everything in between. AI is exactly the same. I always say AI is just a tool, like a calculator. You put information in, you get information out. But it is a mirror of the person using it. So if you're using this tool with ethics, with professionalism, with fun and goodness and light, that's what you're going to get out of it. If you're a hacker, then you're going to learn how to hack faster. If you're someone who wants to do bad in the world, you're going to learn how to do it faster. But you would have done that anyway. You would have searched the internet. So you're going to think about approaching this tool that we have on our hands exactly as a tool. So it's very fast, it's very knowledgeable, it's extremely patient. It never gets upset with you when you ask to write the same email 5 times but differently. And it's always available for you 24/7 when you need support. So if you're waking up as an entrepreneur, and I know you are, at 3 a.m. saying, oh my gosh, I just woke up with this great idea, and then you're looking around to brainstorm or write it down, just pick up your phone and turn on your app and talk into it to AI and say, hey, these are all the things that I just woke up with, and I just want you to work on it when I go back to sleep. And it will. So simple definition, prompting. Again, people get wrapped up in this new tool by the word prompting. And then that leads to what I call prompting paralysis. I can't try it because I don't know what to tell it to do. I don't know what prompt I need to write in order to get the result that I want. So I want to switch your mindset around the word prompting. Yes, I have given you as a gift today, and Lorraine will email it out, 100 prompts small businesses need to know just to get you started. So you get that as a free gift from me, a downloadable PDF. But what I want you to think about is, how would you talk to an employee on their second day of work? So you're saying, hi, AI, you are my new employee. I want you to do some social media posting. And this is all the information about our company. By the way, here's a link to our company website that I want you to analyze to learn more about us. Here's our current link to our Facebook page and our Instagram. I want you to look at that. So I want to think about it as if you're sitting with this new employee and you're downloading all this information to it just as if they were a real person. And then that real person doesn't forget what it's told you. So then you can say, based on all the information I've told you and the direction we want to take this business in, and maybe some of our new products, can you write the social media content for the next 30 days? And give me hashtags to go along with it? Or can you remember all of our visions and values and put it together in a proposal that I can take to a financial institution because they've asked me for a proposal on my expansion project and I don't know how to put it into words? So I want you to think about asking for what you need. There are really 3 key elements of making sure what you're putting, it's not garbage in and it's not garbage out. So the first element is you really want to download as much information as if this were a new employee about your organization, your business. Secondly, you want to tell the AI model what role you want it to play. Just like when I took a picture of my dog's paw, I said, I need you to be the most top-notch vet in the world. And so it went out and got all the information for all the top-notch vets and brought it to me. And then be really clear on the deliverable you want. I want a 90-day posting plan for social media. I need it to be based on reels. I want the video script for each reel, for each of my product suite. I want 5 hashtags for each reel. I want a suggested description of where that reel should be filmed, what background I need, and I want the script to go with each reel for the next 30 days. So the more detailed the content you can give to it, the better. And that's why I highly recommend that you use the dictation device, because you're so much more expressive as a human when you're speaking versus when your brain has to stop and process the thoughts and type. So when you're looking for why AI works for small business, first of all, I've shown you how it can reduce some workload. It certainly can reduce the stress of sitting down and looking at your inbox first thing in the morning, knowing that, oh, I have to spend the next 2 hours reading all of these. Actually, you don't. And reduces some of the guesswork, because what's really kind of cool is, just like an employee, when you're working with that employee on day 2, you would tell the employee to say, if you have any questions about how I want you to do this task, just ask me. Ask me clarifying questions. So then in your messaging to your AI model, you're going to say, I want you to ask me the questions to get this job done. And it will ask clarifying questions. You'll go back and forth in what seems to be a dialogue until it gets done. So that's another tip for sure, is all the information in, all the details, and at the very end you say, and ask me any clarifying questions you need in order to do this task. It will be amazing. And then it improves consistency across all your communications, because you always sound professional and friendly. You won't sound automated. You will sound like you, because you're training an employee to represent your business, and it will represent on brand as you train it. So, and it improves the experience. Like, everything moves faster and smoother. Even if you were saying, okay, I'm just hiring my first employee and I don't know how to onboard them. So you'll go to AI and you'll say, okay, I need an onboarding process. This is what I want them to do. This is the role. This is the job description. Even if you don't have a job description, I'll say, I had to write one for you. And you're saying, these are our policies and procedures, kind of, sort of, can you work with me to developing an onboarding process? And voila, in about 20 minutes, you'll have a complete onboarding process. So myths versus reality. First myth, AI replaces creativity. Wrong. AI helps you be more creative, because you're expressing what you want this new employee to do for you. So you still shape the message. You still make sure you double check what AI is producing, because sometimes it can actually, it's called hallucinate or elaborate. Or in good old-fashioned language, it'll just plain out lie to you. And so you have to be the editor of the deliverable that it's giving you to make sure it's actually accurate. When I first stumbled across AI, I was so excited. I had a new granddaughter, and her name's Aria. And I thought, great, I'm going to get AI to analyze Aria's pictures. And I had like 5 or 6 of them. I uploaded them into ChatGPT of what she looked like. And I said, I want to make some books for her for Christmas called Aria's Adventures. So Aria goes to the zoo, Aria goes to the farm, and I thought this would be really great. And I could digitize her image as a cartoon character for these books. Well, ChatGPT and I spent 2 hours arguing about whether Aria had freckles or earrings, and she has neither. And so at the end, I actually walked away from the project because the model I was using, number one, was free, was not my own at the time. And generally speaking, most 2-year-olds around the face of the earth apparently now have freckles and earrings. So that's what you're going to get back out of the model. So you can be super creative with AI as well. Another myth, I thought this myth actually when I first started, I'm like, AI is cheating. Like, I shouldn't use this because everything's going fast and I'm really getting paid for like a whole day's work and I'm only working 2 hours because I can get it done so fast in AI. It's cheating. But AI is a tool. It's no different than a calculator that made everything speed up and more efficient and spell check and Grammarly for your emails. So, and actually being able to talk to text. It's just a more efficient tool. It's just a tool. AI will replace humans. We are in the form of a workplace workforce evolution, just like the industrial evolution, when once upon a time it took 50 men to dig a ditch that we now use one big backhoe for. So when you're thinking about replacing humans, the data entry jobs, the time-consuming tools, those humans doing those jobs will learn how to use this model and do it faster and better. It's an evolution of the workforce, not a demolition of the workforce. You will see new jobs come about, like AI engineers. We're seeing data centers pop up all around the country and new job opportunities happening. So I firmly believe that our energy will be lifted to a new state of doing what we do for work. And the other myth, you need tech skills to use AI. No, you don't. If you have a Facebook account, which most of the world does, you have enough tech to use AI. It's just that simple. And you might need some hands-on training, which is absolutely available anywhere you go. So to get started, but once you get started, you rely on your own creativity. AI is designed for everyday people. You don't have to be a high-tech programmer. So chapter number 3, and I know I only have 15 minutes left, so here we go. I want to introduce you to what I call the big 3 right now: ChatGPT, Copilot, and Gemini. Each of these different tools I have used. Some I like in some situations, some I very much dislike in some situations. So here's my thoughts on the top 3. ChatGPT, I am a chat girl. I love it. It is my number one go-to. They don't pay me to say this. I have uploaded my subscription to the business level, so I am paying the bucks for my models. But I love chat because it does everything I need it to do. The superpowers is in understanding my tone and my style of speech. It summarizes emails, as does the other 2. Brainstorming ideas. I love at the end of chat, it will ask me 3 questions, and it will normally say, if you want, based on this information, we can do option A, B, or C. And I hadn't even thought of those options. It's like, yes, let's do that. Like, based on your social media posting plan for the next 30 days, would you like me to write a complimentary blog or a complimentary email? I'm like, well, yes, if you can do that, let's do both. And that's the big thing about when we're playing with these tools. First of all, we need the concept of play, because this is an adventure and nothing can go wrong. It's just like you can't break the internet. Just go with the adventure of, can you do this? If you're not too sure, if you have a task and you're saying, I've been asked to write this proposal for a big investor and I don't really know where to start. I wonder if ChatGPT can help. then go to ChatGPT or the other model and say, hey, this is the task I have to do. This is what I'm thinking. How can you help me? And it will tell you whether it can help you or not. It can tell you whether it's an expert. One thing I don't do a lot in my own position is I don't do a lot of graphic design or imagery. ChatGPT is not a great place for that. If you're looking to develop images, you're probably looking towards Gemini, Google Gemini, who's just taken over a really great tool called Nano Banana. So absolutely that's a place to go if you're looking for images. So again, chat is great at creative writing, project planning, summarizing large documents. I love the fact that with most of the AI models, you can upload documents for it to analyze. This morning, I was actually nominating some amazing women in business for our regional awards happening in March. And so I had on one screen the awards nomination, and I had chat open on the other. And I said, okay, I want to tell you everything about this woman that I know. So I told it verbally. I said, this is a link to her website, her Facebook page, her LinkedIn. So I want you to hold tight to that information. And then I'm going to cut and paste the questions from the nominations so you can answer them based on the information I've given you. Oh my gosh, spectacular. What would have taken me hours to do, I wrote like 4 or 5 nominations in a matter of minutes. So remember, it's great for that brainstorming and scenario opportunities that you can use for your business as well. Difficult conversations, it's great. It's like, oh, I've got to have a disciplinary conversation with an employee. This is the situation. How am I best going to do this so it comes out as a positive result and we can walk away shaking hands versus chairs being thrown in a room? And you can work through that with your AI model. So here's an opportunity. I've been talking about how you can write customer emails. Basically, it's an exercise, and you will get these slides from Lorraine. I believe I've sent them as a PDF as well. So I would try it. Go to one of your emails, cut and paste it, and dictate to ChatGPT, Google Gemini, or Copilot, and say, I need you to rewrite this. This is how I want it to sound. Make it clear. And then see what happens. See what it comes out as. And I was doing this with a colleague this morning, and she's like, I don't even have to format it. It formats it for me. It understands the bullet points. Yes, it does. And again, the time saved is 20 to 30 minutes an email. Who doesn't want that to have a Friday afternoon off? Me. So again, marketing in minutes. I've talked you through how it can write a Facebook post, but it can also turn a paragraph into something really punchy and quick with the same content. So here is some prompts that I'll give you. So again, starting with the chaos, I'm overwhelmed. Here's 10 things on my mind for brainstorming and planning. This is the power of the brain dump with ChatGPT has totally been elevated in my mind. I don't know if anybody has gone beyond the science of the brain dump, but I've done videos on that as well. If you're not brain dumping on a regular basis, it gets plugged up in your brain. So if you can brain dump into AI and say, you know, these are all the things that are on my mind right now. I need you to do a grocery list, a personal to-do list, and then a business list based on everything I'm going to tell you, and organize it and make it a checklist so I can print it off and check the boxes just for fun. And it will do it. Phenomenal. Microsoft Copilot, that was relatively new on the market. ChatGPT was the first one on the market. Copilot and Google Gemini came after. The thing I want you to know about Copilot and Gemini is they work really well within the suites that they were created for. So if you are a Microsoft proponent who uses Excel and Teams and PowerPoints, and you know you're using an Outlook for your email and you use a lot of Word, Copilot was made to help in that product suite, not so much outside of it. So it lives within the tools. The same with Google Gemini. If you're using Google Docs or Google Sheets or Gmail, Gemini was designed specifically to work within those tools, whereas ChatGPT is like a third party. Does that make sense? So when you're looking at the strengths of Copilot, very similar to Chat, it can rewrite the emails. It cannot see into your emails. Believe me, I've tried. I said, go look at all my emails. And it said, I'm sorry, I can't do that. That's the thing with AI. It will tell you if it can't do it. So, and then it'll tell you how to accomplish the task instead. Oh, I need you to copy and paste this into me. What I loved about Microsoft Copilot, it's its ability to reformat Word documents and to update those Word documents into an Excel format. So if I'm saying I need all this data and I'm going to upload this data, I need to make graphs for a presentation, then it will make the graphs for you. You don't have to worry about the macros and the fancy formulas in Excel. You just have to talk to your Copilot and say, this is the result that I want. So thinking about what does Copilot do? Copilot works really well within the suite of Microsoft. So a Copilot example, we're going back to email again because it's great in your Outlook, and you would simply copy and paste your email into Copilot and say, draft a new email, respond to this email. So you receive something that's long and emotional and unclear. You're not too sure how to respond it without making things worse. You can work with Copilot to build an email that is appropriate for the situation. You can actually, again, with Copilot, you can say, ask me any questions you need in order to draft this email. So if it needs more information, you're able to give it to it. So an Excel data, you can put together your Excel spreadsheets if you have them. If you have your finances on Excel, you can ask them the following questions. What are my top selling products? Summarize the last 12 months of data. Create a chart by revenue by quarter. Write the formula to calculate profit margin. So if you are taking your financial statements in Excel, maybe to a bank for financing, you can go into Copilot and say, I need you to convert my financial statements to the ratios that a bank uses in order to assess whether I can get credit or not. And it will do it for you. Let's go to Google. Google is really your partner for anyone who uses Google Docs, Google Sheets, or Gmail. So thinking about the three tools right now, where ChatGPT is, it's more creative. It's more of a creative thinker. Copilot is your productivity assistant. Gemini is your researcher and organizer. So when you're working with Gemini, you can say, you know what, I'd really like to see a video on AI for beginners. Can you search YouTube? And it will do that. It's an elevated search engine beyond Google itself. So when you're working with that, quite often when I'm working with Gemini, I'll ask what I would normally ask in chat. I will ask Gemini to do, and it will sadly tell me, oh no, I'm sorry, I can't do that. So I go back to chat. So when you're looking at some of the strengths across the Google Workspace, it's really good in Gmail. It's great for helping you write Google Docs. And if anybody has ever done a Google form, then this is the place to go. So if you input what you want in Gemini and say, I want you to make this a Google form, it will actually do it. What used to take me 20 minutes to type out all the elements of a Google form to send out as a survey, for example, to do market research, to have people fill out the Google form so it will tabulate information, would take me easy an hour, and I'm pretty fast. But literally, I dictated to Gemini what I wanted in this Google form, and it created it for me in minutes. I actually had to go get a coffee just to calm down because I was so excited that it actually did it for me.
I
So
love it. Michelle,
again,
just checking in on time. We have about
ah,
5 minutes left
okay,
to the hour. So if we want to just finish a couple of these summaries and we can throw in any questions.
sure, absolutely. I could talk about AI all day, and obviously I'm trying to. So in summarizing documents, again, Gemini's really great for that. You don't have to read a whole 20-page document. You can get AI to summarize it for you. So chapter 4, real scenarios to the rescue. How can you use AI to enhance your own human superpowers? Rescue number 1, your inbox cleanup. Again, you don't have to be bogged down in responding to 20 messages and taking 2 hours to do it. It can be done in minutes. Second one, social media in 10 minutes. And you'll get all of these ideas. You'll get the slide on what to ask it to do. And you'll be able to walk out with weeks of content at your fingertips. Business planning made simple. You'll be able to brainstorm, turn action into actionable, prioritizing tasks, creating timelines, and building checklists. I love checklists. So when I found out it could build checklists, I was so happy. And then meeting preparation. If you're going into a meeting and you're thinking, this is what I want to talk about and this is what I want to accomplish, can you make up an agenda? Agenda done. If you're going after the meeting, you're saying, okay, I need to summarize notes, send out key actions to different employees. Well, with the transcript, especially using Otter AI, that can be done pretty quickly as well. Proposal writing, you go to a bank, they're saying, hey, we need a proposal on your expansion. Can you go back and write it? And you're like, I have no idea. So then you're going to AI and you're saying, this is my expansion. This is what the bank wants. Can you start a proposal for me? And you'll have a starting point at the very least. And again, customer support at scale. Your frequently asked questions are generated instantly. You can create help documentation very quickly, draft responses to common questions. Remembering you maintain control of the relationship. AI is just your new employee on day 1, 2, or 3. And then learning and research, asking it beyond Google questions, asking it to interpret different questions. And then we're going to go into flows, and I promise we'll only be a few minutes late. So here is a workflow for you to go through of the daily email triage. Simple step-by-step that you can follow once you have the slide in your hands. Workflow number 2 is about content creation for your social media, for your business. So this is the how-tos. Get it done once you have the slide. 3, this is your project planning session, your new product launch, your new marketing campaign. Brain dumping into your AI is going to be the key to your success. Workflow number 4, this is the ones who get to endure those lovely meetings. So this is how to set up your agenda for the meeting and what to do after the meeting. And again, the total time for this is 10 minutes versus hours. Customer communication system, here's your workflow. You'll be able to go through that, making sure that you're putting yourself into your customer communication system. Don't let AI do it all for you. You still have to put your own unique humanness into the conversation. So again, this is your hands-on homework, which I will leave it as homework in chapter 6, but you will get the slides. There's your exercise number 1 for your email. Number 2 is your content creation challenge. Don't forget to ask it for the hashtags so you don't have to search for them. Exercise number 3 is project planning from chaos. So you're overwhelmed, you throw everything and you brain dump it. And then you say, what am I missing? How can you help? Ask me questions. Always remember to get the AI model to ask you the questions that it needs in order to complete the task that you want. If you don't ask, they won't ask the questions and you're missing out. So some best practices and some mistakes to avoid. Be specific with prompts. The more content you can put into it, the better content you get out. Reiterate and refine. The first response isn't perfect, so you can massage a message back and forth until you get it right. Always add your human touch. Protect sensitive information. Like I say, I highly recommend the paid models if you're going to be using business information. Save your best prompts. If something worked really well, then put it into a project folder and keep it there so you can save it and use it again and again. And experiment with the different tools. Try Chat, try Copilot, try Gemini, even if you're investing for a month and then you cancel your membership of the one that you don't like or isn't a fit for you. Almost last slide. Don't use AI output without reviewing it first, because it will lie to you. It can duplicate and make fabrications. So you have to be careful about that. Don't share confidential information. Don't expect perfection on the first try. Remember, this is an employee on their second day. You still have to train them. Don't use vague or unclear prompts. Don't forget to add to your personal voice, but always review and edit. Always remove sensitive details before prompting if you're using a free model. Iterate what you need. You might have to tell it once or twice, just like you would have to tell a human once or twice. Or if you have a husband like mine, a few more times than that to get the job done. So personalize every piece of content. Your action plan moving forward after this presentation. So this week, my challenge to you is choose one AI tool and use it for something daily. In the next 2 weeks, add the content creation workflow. By the end of February, implement some project planning. And then ongoing, keep track of your time savings. I did this for about 3 months to track my level of productivity. I tracked it to the point where my level of productivity increased by 60%. It was phenomenal. And now I don't work on Fridays, but I get a full week's work done. So again, resources and support. There's lots of YouTube videos. There's lots of opportunities to learn online. And there is also opportunities to connect with me through Lorraine. So if you want some more information about services, then you can reach out to Lorraine and she'll connect us. So with that said, get ready. You are now ready to save 5 to 10 hours a week using 3 powerful tools, and hopefully you can supercharge your human superpowers with AI and come to the rescue. So now, Lorraine, I'll hand the microphone back to you.
Thank you so much from both Wanda and I and our participants. Love to see in the chat any questions that you might have, folks, or what your key takeaway is / the thing that you might try. So let's see any questions we have coming in, along with the thing that you're taking away or trying today. And I think Wanda had a question in there earlier. It was further up.
I love questions. Keep them coming.
Yeah, I think it was which is the best AI version for taking notes? And I think you had mentioned, was it Otter?
Otter, OTTER.ai. It has a free version. I also use the paid version. What I specifically do, Wanda, is I will take the transcript I'll copy and paste the transcript from Otter, and I'll put it into my chat, because I've got a chat model that knows the type of formatting that I want from each transcript. So I just have to copy and paste the transcript and it will do my meeting notes and key action items.
Use it in like a real time, like in a meeting, like a live meeting, like say a person-to-person meeting.
Oh, yeah.
That your phone up and away you go.
Yeah. Yeah, it has the beauty about all of these AI models is they also have apps for your phone that you can use. So your ChatGPT can be used as an app. And if you're not using the free version, the paid version, the accounts like an email can be connected. So if I'm driving on my way home and saying, oh, I forgot to send an email and this is what I need to say, and I'm talking into my phone, it will be on my desktop when I get home when I sign into my account. So the accounts can be connected. Same with Otter. If you're doing PowerPoint presentations like I did today, Gamma is going to be your best friend, GAMMA. Or even if you're writing like business plans or proposal documents, that's really good too.
Is Gamma.
Gamma, GAMMA. That's for PowerPoint presentations, beautiful looking documents, even recipe books.
Amazing. Yeah. I'm just realizing more and more where I think I could utilize AI in my own life, such as organizing pictures, even. So both
Yes.
personally and professionally. I have a vortex of emails, so I'm wondering, and like maybe I look at these prompts, but I ask Chat GPT or Gemini, because I'm in the Google place, is like, how can I organize all these emails? Because sometimes I have years back looking, but they're taking over my inbox and I just need to get rid of.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's exactly what you need to do, Lorraine, and say, Gemini, I have this problem with my inbox and I'm using Gmail and I have all of these. And, as you're talking to an assistant, I have newsletters, I have sales, I have instruction, I have information, I have coaching. So these are some of the categories I have. How do I structure my inbox so I can organize these into folders or get rid of the stuff I don't need?
Yeah. Oh, that would
Mercy,
be such a big help for me. Thank
right?
Yeah. And Mercy has a question here. What is best for content creation?
Yeah, I'm always going to say ChatGPT is best above the others
Mhm.
because you're not, especially for content creation, because you're not necessarily using a Microsoft tool or a Google tool to create content. All three of them will do the same. I just have a preference for ChatGPT.
Yeah. And I'm just dropping the prompts that you've given us in your PDF, just like as a peeker here, for content creation. Like write 10 engaging social media posts promoting my blank. And I've got a couple different businesses that I promote. So I guess I use old language and I call it folders, but they're projects on ChatGPT. And I've learned
Right.
how to separate them so that they know which area or project or business that I'm talking about. So
Absolutely. Like understanding, well, especially within chat, when I found out, oh my gosh, I can create folders of different content. So
yeah.
I actually have a recipes folder, I have a personal folder, I have a client notes folder, I have a meeting notes folder, I have a content creation folder, all of these things to keep like life somewhat semi-organized. But even as simple as my recipes folder, like, I am now learning as a new acreage liver with a garden, um, how to grow my own food. And so, but I don't know how to cook it. So I have all these zucchinis coming out of my garden in the summertime, and I'm saying I need 5 great quick zucchini recipes.
Wow.
And voila, there it is. I don't have to Google forever and scroll, scroll, scroll. It's already done for me.
Yeah. Well, thank you again. And if you do have to run, thank you so much for being here today.
Thanks for
And
your patience.
yeah, Mark says we're going to look into using more for customer emails and search engine optimization. Thank you for the tips. Thanks, Mark. Thanks for being here. And yeah, if there's any more questions, go ahead and share them. Otherwise, we will get ready to wrap up in the next couple minutes here. And actually, I have a question too. So if somebody was wanting to start using AI from scratch,
Yeah,
what should they do? Where should we go?
I would say write a list of the top 5 things you really dislike doing in your business.
Mm,
Write a list of time suckers that you're not enjoying doing, but you have to do. And that if you had an assistant, you would love to delegate to.
hmm
And I would take that list and I would type it into ChatGPT and say, can you help me with this? Tell me how you can help me with this. It's really like hiring for character, which it already has, and now you're going to see what kind of skills it has.
Beautiful.
So if you're saying, I know I have to do my social media posts, but I hate it, then you're saying, okay, what can you do for me in this area of my business?
Thank you. And with that, we will wrap up our time with Michelle today. So again, thank you all so much for being here and watching the recording. Go ahead again to the Special Areas Regional Economic Development website to check out upcoming events and past recordings. So you'll be able to find this recording online there, as well as our other Business Bytes series. Michelle or Wanda, anything you'd like to say as we wrap up?
Just thanks to Michelle for coming and presenting us with some great information. And thank you to everyone else who attended today. Yeah, keep it simple. Thanks.
And we'll